Hello and welcome everyone to this career-long professional learning event. My name is Jane. I'm Director of SEET, which is the Scottish European Educational Trust, and I will be telling you a little bit more about our Euroquiz project for Primary 6 today. So thank you all so much for joining. It's been great to have so many people sign up to attend the session. And for the benefit of those who are unable to attend live, we will be recording the session today. The recording has started, so if you could please just make sure that your microphones are turned off during the presentation, unless you're one of our speakers, of course, then we'll have an opportunity to have a chat at the end. So I will be joined today by my colleague Alex, who is helping to keep a track of chat box and everything. Our trustee and 1+2 language consultant Anne Robertson is here as well, who will be able to share her perspective on the project. And hopefully we'll be able to hear from Midlothian local coordinator as well, Elaine Dury, who will provide a local authority point of view on the project. And just before I continue, I think some people may be having some problems with the chat box today, which we're hoping to use for anyone who might have questions. If you're unable to access the chat box, could you please email any questions to info@seet.org.uk, and again, Alex will keep track of those, and if we are able to answer any of those questions at the end of today, we will do that. So if you can't access chat box, just email info@seet.org.uk and we'll hopefully be able to answer any of those questions at the end. Great, so today we will cover the following points to give you a better understanding of who we are, what's involved in Euroquiz, the benefits of taking part, and how you can get involved in the project. We'll also hear some testimonials from pupils and teachers. Firstly, I'd like to play a short video to explain a bit more about SEET and what it is that we do. The Scottish European Educational Trust, or SEET, is a non-political charity committed to promoting international education, skills development and language learning amongst young people in Scotland. We're a small team, but SEET is proud to work with around 3,000 primary and secondary school pupils across Scotland each year to build the skills, knowledge and confidence to look outward and to engage with other cultures. Euroquiz is an annual project open to all primary 6 pupils across Scotland, which sees teams of 4 working together to broaden their knowledge of Europe and the wider world. Subjects covered include languages, history, geography, culture and European affairs. Heats take place in local authorities, with the winning teams from all areas progressing to the national Euroquiz final, held in June each year. Our World is a creative filmmaking project for pupils in S1 to S6. Teams of 4 are asked to create ideas for a film based on set themes relating to global citizenship and including at least one language other than English. Pupils send their ideas to us in storyboard form, and selected teams attend an all-day filmmaking workshop where they bring their ideas to life with the help of a professional filmmaker. Participants are then invited to attend a premiere and awards ceremony to showcase their work and celebrate their achievements. SEET projects are open to all pupils across Scotland, it's free to take part, and we've developed ways to offer our projects in an online format. Please get in touch if you'd like to learn more, we'd love to hear from you. Okay, so as the film showed there, we are an education charity which runs projects which focus specifically on language learning and global citizenship. Euroquiz is our longest running project here at SEET, which has grown to be a Scotland-wide event, becoming an established and popular part of the primary school calendar. The Euroquiz project encourages the topic of just ask anyone who's joining to please make sure that you're muted, that would be great. The Euroquiz project encourages the topic of Europe to be explored thoroughly in primary 6 classrooms across the country. Pupils form teams and use free resources to learn about a range of subjects, including languages, citizenship, geography, world history and culture. Through participating in Euroquiz, pupils deepen their knowledge of languages and international affairs whilst developing their core skills as well. During Euroquiz events, the questions are split into different rounds and are largely based on the resources which are available on our website, as well as a few general knowledge questions. The questions go through many stages of review by SEET and also external organisations such as SILT, or Scotland's National Centre for Languages, and Education Scotland, just to ensure that they are meeting the needs of our learners. SEET administers HEATs in each local authority area from February to April, working with local authorities to develop a model that's appropriate to the specific needs of the schools in their area. There will also be options for both online and in-person delivery of Euroquiz HEATs in 2024, allowing each authority and set of schools to choose the type of event which they prefer. Each school can choose how they wish to prepare for Euroquiz events. Some schools explore topics as a whole class before identifying a team of 4 to represent their school at local authority level. We do also really encourage Euroquiz clubs to take place in schools. That allows past participants, if you've taken part before, to work alongside younger learners, enabling learners to participate in or lead the Euroquiz project through curricular or extracurricular activities. Having a whole school approach is also really important in recognising the achievement of the pupils who take part. During a Euroquiz HEAT, pupils sit together in their teams of 4 and answer questions in 4 rounds. So the 4 rounds are geography and history, languages, culture and European affairs, and then finally a general knowledge round. All scores from rounds 1 to 4 are gathered to identify a winning team and a runner-up. The winning team is then invited to attend the Euroquiz final in Edinburgh. The national final is held each year in June. We've previously held this event at the Scottish Parliament, and last year for the first time we hosted the Euroquiz final in the McEwan Hall at the University of Edinburgh. This is a great event. We were really delighted to welcome pupils from 31 local authorities to the final in June last year. Pupils were cheered on as well by parents and peers who watched on from the public gallery. We thought this was an excellent venue for the event and gave the participating pupils a unique opportunity to take centre stage in a really aspirational venue, helping to widen their horizons and recognise and celebrate their achievements as well. We also introduced for the first time a live language round with native speakers who spoke live on the day, and the pupils seemed to really enjoy that feature as well. So why do schools take part in Euroquiz? We hope that some of the information in our next few slides will highlight why it's such a valuable experience for our young people. We regularly work with hundreds of schools across all local authorities in Scotland, so we are certain that schools and teachers do really see the value in taking part. Not only does the project help to build pupils' knowledge across a broad range of subject areas, as highlighted in the previous slide, but it also provides a platform for pupils to respect all cultures, languages, and ideas equally. Increasing participants' core skills is a really key part of Euroquiz participation, such as developing their ability to work in teams, to communicate effectively, and ultimately increasing their confidence. So to prove what we're saying, here are just a few stats from last year's project. So in 2022 to 2023, the project directly involved over 2,750 pupils from 31 local authorities. So this meant that we were working with over 550 primary schools in total, and this was the highest rate of participation that we've ever had for the Euroquiz project. So we're really pleased with that. Language learning and global citizenship are key areas of the project. Last year we had 94% of finalist schools reporting that Euroquiz really helped to boost the pupils' motivation for language learning, and 100% of local authorities reported that Euroquiz helped schools to explore topics relating to global citizenship and LFS as well. It's really important that we help to develop pupils' core and transferable skills throughout the project. So here also are some stats from our pupils last year, reporting increased confidence, teamwork, and other key skills. We're really pleased that participants are having positive experiences, and we take care each year to collect feedback, to adapt to any challenges, and make improvements as well. With this in mind, if you have any pupils with additional support needs, please contact me directly so we can ensure that the pupils are supported and that the project remains accessible for everyone. So we have pulled a few examples from the GTCS standards for registration, which discuss global citizenship education and also the importance of interdisciplinary learning for effective teaching practice. It's important to show our commitment as professionals to improving young people's care for others and the world around them. The emphasis on collaborative learning combined with global citizenship themes which underpin the project promotes more engaged pupils with a high level of care for themselves, others, and the world around them. In terms of professional knowledge and understanding, it's our responsibility to ensure that interdisciplinary learning is facilitated. Euroquiz offers and encourages an interdisciplinary approach with the opportunity to explore across curricular subjects such as learning for sustainability. And finally, in terms of professional skills and abilities, we also have a responsibility to try engaging young people in debate and decision-making about topical issues, and to vary our teaching practice to challenge assumptions and expand worldviews. The topical research involved in Euroquiz allows young people to become active citizens and participate in the debate. Combined with the language learning elements, the project goes a long way to help broaden the minds of pupils, supporting them in providing the tools they need as active global citizens. Shortly, we'll hear some more from our past participants about their experiences, but first I would like to share a couple of comments from teachers who lead on Euroquiz in their schools. So these quotes are from participating schools in East Renfrewshire and Argyll and Bute, who said last year, Euroquiz has raised the profile of modern languages and internationalism in our school. The children have a real excitement and enthusiasm for language learning, as well as discovering more about culture, geography and history. What a fantastic event. And also, as a teacher, this process gave me increased knowledge and encouragement to be ambitious when teaching languages, which is great to hear. And finally, here's a comment from another P6 teacher who said, Euroquiz is an incredibly well-run and rewarding project. It creates purpose to our learning and has enabled pupils to develop lifelong skills in communication, research, self-motivated learning, evaluation, teamwork, and resilience. It has also enabled pupils to develop their breadth and depth of knowledge in different aspects of Europe, including history, geography, politics, and languages. I've seen a huge growth in confidence with pupils, and they've developed a knowledge base that will last a lifetime. So I hope we've been able to highlight some of the benefits in taking part. It's really important to us that the pupils have an opportunity to showcase their learning, and crucially that they have fun doing it. So here's a video featuring some of our past participants and what they have to say about Euroquiz.
It's a really great, fun event. There's a lot of learning takes place and the kids really enjoy it.
The quiz and the preparation for the quiz gives a really good, strong educational context.
We've just won the Euroquiz heats and we're going through to the final in Edinburgh in May. Well, we've been studying at school, at home.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I know a few capital cities and now I know all the capital cities and I think so. Yeah, you really learn a lot.
My favourite thing has been working together. So between all of us, I think we worked really well as a team and we learned a lot all together.
Our favourite thing is doing all the quizzes from the previous years.
I think it's really beneficial to them working together and learning to research and discuss things. So it's been a really nice way for them to take ownership of their own learning.
Well, my favourite thing is just like getting to work with people from different classes.
It's made me more aware of other countries. Well, I learned more facts about them. Like, I didn't know all the capitals, didn't know their culture and their history as much as I do now.
I get to do it with some of my friends so they know what I'm good at and they know how to help me properly, so that's been a good thing about it.
It's had a huge impact because the children, their self-confidence for one, they've really enjoyed being part of this, and their enthusiasm for learning. Every one of them has been so engaged with the competition, and I said the amount of work that they've done on their own has been incredible. It fits in with Curriculum for Excellence so well because it's got so many cross-curricular links. They've learned so much about the geography of Europe, politics, social side, the people of Europe, but as well other skills that they've developed, working within a team, learning to work to each other's strengths, the skills that they've learned from this is endless.
It's tied in really well with us, especially with the fact of the curriculum for excellence and trying to give the children a better grounding and knowledge of who are next door to us.
Hundreds and hundreds of pupils and teachers going through heats all across Scotland to end up here today. And it's an amazing exercise done on a tiny team, on a tiny budget, but it's an amazing enterprise. And just to see how enthusiastic the kids are when they get into the Parliament here, when they're answering the questions, is wonderful.
Okay. We're from the Shetland Islands.
We are excited to be at the Parliament.
For me, probably the excitement of knowing that you're going to be here and you're going to get to complete kids' different schools all over Scotland.
Getting to go to the Parliament is just watching it on telly. You're seeing the people standing there and then you're actually going to it and competing. It's quite cool.
But it's just the enthusiasm, seeing everybody get together, seeing the sportsman-like competition, children shaking hands with each other, cheering on other teams. Everybody is keen to support the other team.
The young people are so enthusiastic, they're so talented, and frankly they put us all to shame with their knowledge of Europe. The Euroquiz is a really important event because not only is it fun, it's competitive, it allows young people to come through and take over the seats of the Scottish Parliament, which is always fantastic for me to see as the quizmaster. But beyond that, it's really educational and it helps them to understand Scotland's place in the wider European community.
I've enjoyed all of it.
Yeah,
it's just been really great experience and we've learnt a lot to do with Europe.
Yeah. Well, I like reading a lot more.
Yeah, working together and not shouting out your first thing and it could be wrong.
Working on whispering.
Yeah, especially, yeah.
How do you feel?
Awesome. Brilliant.
Epic.
You know what I mean? Want something.
I liked when we were told the winner is St John's Primary. That was my favourite bit because I went like this.
It's always so much fun to see the excitement of the pupils at Euroquiz, heats and the final, so we are really looking forward to welcoming schools to the project events, both online and in person in 2024. So here I'd just like to highlight the project timeline. All primary schools in Scotland will have the opportunity to participate in Euroquiz. Schools will receive registration details directly from their local authority coordinator. And usually the sign-up deadline is the Christmas holidays, but that can vary across authorities. Every school should receive this directly, but if you think that you might have missed an email or you'd like to contact your local authority coordinator directly, then please do get in touch with me. My details will be on a later slide. It's then time to have fun in the classroom or during lunchtime or after school clubs, learning all about the languages, history, geography, culture, and European affairs. We have lots of free resources that you can access on the SEET website. Past papers and sample questions are also available under the Euroquiz resources tab, which you can use to help prepare your team. We do also have video versions of heats and finals from previous years, which you can access on the same page. The heats will then take place in local authorities between February and the end of April. Either in person or online, with the winning teams from all areas progressing to the national final, which will be held in Edinburgh in June. So how do you get involved? Firstly, submit your registration form and return that to your local authority coordinator. As mentioned previously, you should all receive this information directly from your contact. But if you've not received a form or you don't know who your organiser is, please do get in touch with me. My email is on this slide here on the left, jane@seet.org.uk. Each school can enter one team of 4 contestants. Substitutes can also attend a heat, but won't be able to take part officially unless a team member has to withdraw. Next, it'll be time to bring the project to life in your own classroom or clubs, exploring topics with the pupils. And as mentioned previously, we have lots of recommended resources available to access and download for free on our website. So here is just a screenshot of how to access those. You can find out more information at seet.org.uk. There's a Euroquiz tab at the top with various options in the drop-down menu for further information and resources there as well. We really hope that you will get involved in the project. If you have any questions that you'd like us to answer today, as mentioned at the beginning, it'd be great if you could just email info@seet.org.uk, and hopefully we'll be able to gather those by the end and answer them on the call. I don't think the chat option's working for everyone, so that should mean that anyone who has questions, we will be able to answer those. But you can also email me anytime at jane@seet.org.uk or call the number here. We're on Twitter as well, where we post regular updates about the project, and we really look forward to hearing from you. So I'm hoping we'll do a test. We're hoping to hand over to Elaine Dury from Midlothian to tell you a bit more about her experiences taking part in the project and also coordinating the Midlothian Heat. And then we will hear from Anne, who's one of our trustees, before we open up the discussion at the end. Elaine, are you here? Are you able to put on your camera or microphone at all? I know that you've been having troubles connecting, so if not, I do have a video from last year when we spoke to Elaine, so I could maybe share that just now if we're not able to have you live.
I think Elaine had emailed to say that she was having trouble getting it to work.
Okay, thanks, Anne. Let me just see if I can share this video from last year.
Okay, so yeah, I've been organising the Euroquiz heats for Midlothian for the past 7 years, perhaps 6 or 7 years. I just started as the primary 6 teacher and took it over, running it in our school. Post-pandemic, we had all the schools coming to our school on a Friday morning to take part in the Euroquiz. It seemed to work the best way. Everybody seemed to really enjoy it. So basically you should have received this flyer from your coordinator, which does tell you all about the Euroquiz, why it takes part, how to get involved, just everything that Jane's gone over. And again, there's another couple of quotes from teachers and classes that have taken part and just letting us know how much they've really enjoyed the experience. Okay. So as a primary 6 class teacher, these are your responsibilities. This is what you've really got to do. So the first thing is to let your class know about the Euroquiz and how they can take part. And as Jane said, there's lots of different ways that you can do it. We've done it in the past as a whole class topic. So we've been studying Europe and we've looked at, you know, the structure of Europe. We've given the children a personal project. So each pupil has taken a different country and they've had set criteria. They've got to find out the traditional food, dance, capital city, landmarks, famous people, lots of things that are asked within the Euroquiz. And then they present all that information to their classmates. So if you've got a class of 30, then you're covering 30 countries, which you really couldn't do yourself as a class teacher. So it's amazing how much information the children come up with. We also have ran an after-school Euro club, either at the end of the day or at lunchtime. So children who are really interested in it, I mean, I've had as much as 15 in my Euroquiz club, which is great. They all work together. They divvy up the different aspects of the quiz and go away and learn different things. Or you could just actually find out who wants to take part and then it's up to them to learn everything at home, which is a bit boring for them. So it's certainly something that I tend to do within school. Then liaise with your Euroquiz coordinator, whoever it may be. They'll be the one that sends you out all the information from SEET, all the places that you can access the resources. They'll discuss the possible dates, venue if you're going to have an in-person one, all the paperwork that needs to be completed for SEET they'll send out to you and return to them. They'll collate it all and send it off to Jane. Organise all the space and equipment for the Midlothian Heat if you are hosting it. So you need a space, you need a laptop and screen, a sound system, biscuits and juice for your team, decorations, a team nameplate. A team nameplate is really good if it's an in-person competition. So each school brings their own nameplate. They might bring a team mascot. We encourage the subs to come along. You'll see there's I've got an end picture of one of our in-person heats, and we've got all the subs and the teachers sitting on the bleachers within the gym hall, and we give the substitutes the answer sheets as well, so they actually answer all the questions as the heats go on, which is good for them. The way that we choose our team is we leave it up to the pupils that are in the Euroquiz club. We say to them, do you want to win? You know, do you want it to be competitive, or do you want to draw names out of a hat? Most of the time, in fact, the majority of the time, they want to put the best team forward. And they're very good at saying, no, you should do it because you're really good at capital cities and landmarks, or you're really good at this, or you're really good at that. But it's entirely up to yourself how you choose your club, your team. But it's quite good to hand it over to the children. The local authorities, they will be the one that organises the venue or organises how the online competition is going to take part. What we did last year was we did it through YouTube, which worked really, really well. And we all agreed on a start time and a start date. So every school that was taking part within Midlothian did it at the same time. And they photographed the answer sheets and just messaged them to me at Stop Hill. So I was able to mark them and keep the score running. So at the end of the quiz, they didn't have to wait till the next day or whenever to get the result. They could get the result right away. So we were able to say who won, and everybody was able to congratulate everybody online. All the printed materials will be provided by your event host. So in Midlothian's case, that's me, whoever's coordinating the quiz. So all the answer sheets and the score sheets, certificates, they'll just be emailed to you, and then you download them and print them. You will need, if you are doing it digitally, you will need a really good laptop and a screen and a sound system to display the PowerPoint slides for your team. There needs to be an adult supervisor or a teacher with the team to make sure that everything runs smoothly, especially if you're allowing your subs to be in the same room as well. And somebody who has got access to a mobile phone to quickly take a photograph and send it to the coordinator to mark it. If it's an in-person event, then there'll be a quizmaster there, there'll be a scorer. We usually have somebody from SEET comes along and does the scoring, which is really good because it takes that pressure off you as the class teacher within the quiz or the coordinator. So this is our in-person event. We just held it in the gym hall. Each school had a table with, as you can see, there's mascots there. There is the team nameplates, and on the bleachers, that's the spectators. So you've got the subs there and the teachers who brought the children to the school. We've always found that it works really well on a Friday morning if it's an in-person event. It usually takes you up to about 11:30, and then you've got that last 20 minutes to get all the scores tallied up, to get the presentations done, and to get the kids back into taxis or buses back to their schools. The last couple of years, we've done the online one on a Friday morning as well. It just fits in so perfectly. That's the whole morning taken care of. The children love it. They are very, very competitive. We've won it once, and they were so excited to go to the Scottish Parliament. Even although it was online, that they had to compete online, they were just so excited about it. It was great. A good way to hook the children into it is to tell them all about the quiz and then show them a clip of one of the finals at the Scottish Parliament. If you go onto YouTube and just search for the Euroquiz final, you'll find it. It's really good. The whole thing is videoed for you to watch. It's a good revision tool for them to use. And yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. And I love the children's excitement about it. So if you're fancy doing it, then I would definitely say go for it. You won't regret it, and the children will have a blast. Okay, thank you.
So So thank you very much to Pastelane for that. I'm really sorry that we've not been able to have you live here today because of sort of connection difficulties, but hopefully that has been able to give people an understanding of what is involved if you are a school or a local authority taking part in Euroquiz this year. So before we move into any questions that you might have, I would like to invite Anne, who is a SEET trustee, to say a few words about Euroquiz. And then, yes, as I said, we'll move into a bit more of a discussion if any of you have questions. So welcome, Anne.
Brilliant, thank you, Jane, and thanks to Elaine as well. I think it's to me it's really helpful to have both perspectives, both yours as the host organisation and the organiser of Euroquiz, and then also to have Elaine's from the kind of on the ground practical, how she's organised this in a school. And I think you'll all have seen as well from the videos, and the pictures as well from Elaine from her presentation, the impact that this really has on the children. And I think that's really at the centre of it. I've not been along to the final yet. It actually always seems to take place on my birthday when I seem to be away doing something else. But I have been along to the heats before and the local authorities, and it's just there's such a buzz about it when you go along to them, and it's brilliant to see the children, how competitive they get, and just the whole vibe of the whole atmosphere of it. So I think your children, no matter how far they get in the competition, they're going to really enjoy it and they're going to really get a lot out of it. I was just going to mention a couple of things, maybe just to think about more broadly in terms of your planning for this, some ideas that you can potentially build into how you organise things. So again, just coming back to the impact on the children involved, and really thinking about how you celebrate that throughout the process as well, because if they're being brave enough to put themselves forward to take part in this, then it's really good if you can celebrate that somehow through your school community, through your parents, maybe with an assembly when they can come back and talk about what it was like to take part in the heats and how they prepared for it, how they learned, how they worked together as a team. So all these things are really worth sharing with the other learners in the school, and really being celebrated as well. And likewise, looking to see how much you can bring in the other children in the class as part of this. And I think the example that Elaine gave was really positive about looking at this as a potential topic. So looking at Europe, and then everybody's involved in the learning as part of that. And potentially you could look at, for example, having cooperative groups that work together and focus on the learning to support the children who will then be going into the heat. So they're then representing that group within the quiz team in their class. So you can really bring them in as part of the team that way. And likewise, thinking about things like strategies for learning. So, for example, what's going to really help them to learn? And again, you could work with the cooperative groups in the classes, and the children could really work together on that to help each other to come up with what's going to work best and what works best for the team member, the quiz team member personally, to help them to learn quite a lot of information, and how can they come up with strategies and what works for them. And the other thing I was just going to say was thinking about your L3 as well, because there is, of course, a languages round. And it's been really nice for me and my local authorities to see the improvement in the languages results over the past few years. So you can really see that there's been a bit of an upwards trend in terms of the understanding of the children when it comes to doing the languages round. But thinking about that in terms of not just your L2, because there's multiple languages within the languages round. So it's maybe a good opportunity then to link that into your L3 as well. And then you're doubling up how much language the children can access and understand as well through the quiz. And then the only other thing I was going to suggest was a mock quiz in class. So you could maybe split your class into teams, and you could have beat the quiz team as well. And really, again, just another way to bring them in as part of the process. But like I say, it's a fantastic competition. I really think your children are going to get a lot out of it. Yeah, good luck, bonne chance.
Thanks so much, Anne. Yeah, I completely agree. I really like your ideas, sort of the cooperative groups, and sort of bringing the whole sort of learning community together a bit more through Euroquiz, because there's lots of opportunities for that. And then also, as you said, bringing in L2 and L3. We have French, German, Spanish and Italian in the language round, so hopefully some of those languages cross over with your L2 and L3 that you are doing in schools. So thank you so much, Anne. And now we would be happy to open up the discussion. If anyone has questions, feel free to turn on your microphone, turn on your video, put anything in the chat if you can. Otherwise, email info@seet.org.uk. We're monitoring that right now, so we can hopefully answer that quite quickly if you do want to submit a quick question by email. Yeah, we'll stay here for a few minutes, and if you have any questions, just let us know. As we said as well, we've recorded this, so if you think there's something that you want to follow up with or you might have missed the beginning, we will have this uploaded as soon as possible, and I'll send an email out to everyone as soon as it is uploaded and available to access. So I'll just have a quick look at the chat now. How many teams? I think you've seen the answer to it, but it's teams of 4 per school. But as you said, it's quite nice to sort of start off a bit more broad, either as a whole class with a larger club, and then nominate your team during the later stages. If anyone has questions that they want to just ask live, just feel free to turn on a microphone or a camera. It'd be great to chat to you. I don't think we have anything in the email inbox at the moment, but yeah, we will just stay for a few more minutes and keep monitoring that. So just let us know if you have any questions. Otherwise, thank you all so much for being here. It's been great to have so many people joining. To clarify the languages, we have French, German, Spanish and Italian in the language round. And so they have a listening exercise first. There's 10 listening questions. And then there is a small reading section of 5 questions. So we can look at their listening and reading comprehension. We've got examples of all of those language rounds as well on the website. So they're on under the resources tab if you'd like to see what's involved in a language round. If you have any difficulties accessing those, just send me an email and I can send you a copy of past language rounds as well. But French, German, Spanish and Italian. Don't see any more questions. Oh, is it set areas of languages, for example, colours? Yeah, so we have what we've put together is not quite published yet for this year, but I have areas of topics that would be helpful to revise for this year. So that will involve sort of weather, families, hobbies, and we'll list all the topics that would be helpful for you to explore with your pupils. And we've also drafted a vocab list, which will be helpful for this year, just to help with some of the text that might come up in the reading or the listening sections as well, and give you some sort of specific areas to focus on in terms of vocabulary. So that will be coming to the website very soon. We're just waiting for all of the translations for that. But yeah, we will be offering a bit more detailed guidance. So that should come directly to you through from your local authority coordinators as soon as it's ready. But keep an eye on the website as well, because it'll be published there too, under the Info for Schools tab. Okay, well, if there's no other questions today, just I'm going to put my email again in the chat, which is jane@seet.org.uk for anyone who doesn't have access. Please just get in touch if you think of anything after the call today, or you'd like to answer any more specific questions at any time. Just ask me by email. That's the quickest way to get in touch. And just thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to Anne and to Alex and Elaine. I'm so sorry that we've had connection issues, but thank you very much for being involved in the past, and the fact that we've been able to have that video to access has been great. So thank you all so much for being here. It's great to have you, and we really hope that you all take part in Euroquiz.